Hello. I've been out testing electric vehicles lately, and I've got a bone to pick with some car manufacturers of vehicles I've tested lately, namely Kia and also Chevy. So far, I've test driven the Chevy Volt, the Chevy Bolt, and the Kia Soul electric vehicle. I started with the Chevy Volt, and I found it to be a nice looking car, pretty comfortable to drive in. Um, one thing that's really important to me is the driver's seat being comfortable, which I don't think that shouldn't be too much to ask. Full disclosure, my present car is a 1998 Lexus LS 400. I've had it since year 2000, so it's been a great car. Very comfortable, very smooth. I'm in real estate. I take clients out, and it really does. And it's still going strong at 205,000 miles. But, I was thinking maybe it's time to, get with the new program here with electric vehicles. I do most of my driving around town, ferrying clients around, so on and so forth. And I thought, well, maybe electric vehicles the way to go. Anyway, I went for a ride in the Volt, and of course, a big problem, I'm in New England, and the Volt's heater was pitiful. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And the more I thought about doing a hybrid, part of the appeal of electric cars is simplicity and hopefully a lot less, maintenance than you have with a gas engine, because I'm kind of tired of maintaining my big gas engine Lexus. And now, if you get a hybrid, you're making things more complicated because you've got the electric engine and you got the gas engine to maintain. So, that's not what I want. I want less maintenance, not more. So I decided, and besides, once you start driving on electric power, I mean, it is really amazing. It's really a whole different driving experience. And so, the range on the Volt's 43 miles at best. Now, in the wintertime, that's going to be more like 33 miles. And then you start using the heater and stuff. Pretty soon you don't have a lot of range. So I crossed the Volt off my list. I tested the Bolt. And the Bolt is a little monster. I mean, it's really fun to drive it. And one of the big nice things about these all-electric vehicles is regenerative braking. And one pedal, you can set it so that when you take your foot off the pedal, it automatically brakes, and you hardly ever have to use the brake, and it's one pedal driving, and it is really amazing. And every time, the motor is slowing the car down, and that's regenerating the battery while you do it. So not only is it fun, but it extends your range, and the Bolt does that very well. But, and here's where I get to pick my bone, the seat on the Bolt was just really uncomfortable. Nowadays, I don't know, so car seat designers, they're designing these highly bolstered seats. Those are the little raised areas on the side of the seat that supposedly keeps your butt in the seat while you're going around a corner at 150 miles an hour. I know racing car seats have to be bolstered to counter the G-forces, but on an electric vehicle, I mean, it's absurd. And what we want is a comfortable seat to sit in. And so I think the Bolt really struck out on that. Now, when I tested the Soul, I first went out on a couple of short drives, and the seat seemed okay. But I was really interested in this car because I'm telling you, this car is really amazing. I have test driven a lot of other luxury cars when I really thought it was time to put my Lexus out to pasture. And the Lexus is legendary for its drive and its smoothness, and especially the suspension over the rotten city streets that they give us in Boston and Cambridge. So I have yet to ride in a car that even comes close to matching the smoothness, the quietness, and the ride of the Lexus until I drove the Soul, the little Kia Soul. Who would have ever thought it would be a contender? But it really is the heavy batteries really keep it grounded to, it hugs the road, it drives smoothly, it's quiet, the acceleration is great. And not only that, but, you're sitting up a little higher, it's sort of like a mini SUV. The windows are large. You know, you don't have the blind spots you have in the Lexus. I mean, really, it's a terrific city car. And, you know, I rented one for a whole day yesterday just to see what it was like to actually live with one for a whole day. And I mean, it was just so much. When you drive these vehicles, it's like a completely different experience from a gas car. I got to tell you, it's like you're on a magic carpet almost. And you know, in almost every category, it equaled or surpassed the Lexus, which I have. This is the first time this has ever happened. So I was in love with the thing, but then the problem with the seat came up, and you know, the longer I sat in the seat over the course of a day, the less comfortable it became. And it was because of those damn bolsters they're putting in these bucket seats now. And, you know, if your butt isn't small enough to fit in between them, you're out of luck because you're perched on top of them. And unfortunately, you know, and I actually did some measurements comparing the Lexus seat to the Kia seat, Soul seat. And you know, the Soul seat was only 1 inch narrower than the Lexus seat, which, you know, can make a difference. An inch can make a difference, but in the front and then in the back, the Lexus seat only gets 1 inch narrower, whereas the Soul, I think, goes down to about 16 inches at the back. But the flat area where you're sitting, where your butt is parked, was 14 inches wide on the Lexus, only 12 for the Soul. And then the bolstering, the Lexus only came up about an inch very gradually, whereas the Soul had a more aggressive, almost 2-inch high bolstering on either side. So, you know, the net effect is that, you know, you really start feeling squeezed in between these sides, and it's really kind of uncomfortable unless, you know, you've got a small, narrow butt. I really think that Kia's got to go back to the drawing board, and they got to realize that the way Americans are built, you've got to design a car to the way we're built, and make a seat that's comfortable. And because if they had, I'd be buying or leasing the Soul today. So that's my message to Kia: build a seat that's comfortable, please. Thank you. Bye bye.